Welcome to Marcie's Kitchen, part of our awesome Aircooled Adventure YouTube channel. Today we're going to make easy, crusty vegan bread. So you're going to get your mixer ready. You're going to start with your flour, which I already have measured out. It's 3 1/4 cup all-purpose flour. You're going to add your yeast, which I've already measured out, which is 2 teaspoons active dry yeast. And you're going to add your sea salt, which is 1 teaspoon sea salt. And then you're going to get 1 1/2 cups warm water. So there's 1 cup and our 1/2 cup of water. If you have a KitchenAid mixer, they generally come with the bread hook, so I use my bread hook. Lock it in place. And you're going to mix all the dry ingredients with the water together until it's all incorporated. So all of the dry ingredients have incorporated with the water. So we'll just go ahead and get all that off the bread hook. You're going to wrap the bowl loosely with a towel or saran wrap. And you're just going to keep this dough in the same bowl. And you're going to want to place it in one of the warmer areas in your house. It's winter, so I strategically started it just before I was going to be cooking other stuff on the stove, so it could get some of that heat to help it rise. So I'm going to wrap it loosely with the towel. As you can see, we've got a bust towel, Walmart. So I placed it here on the stove. So when I cook breakfast, I've got 2 pots of oatmeal going. It can get just a little bit of extra heat from that, but you're going to want it to set for 2 to 3 hours at room temperature before the next step. Welcome back. It's been 3 hours and it's now time for me to check my bread. Now I could have done it a little bit earlier, but not gonna lie, I got sidetracked with some other projects and waited the full 3 hours. So you'll see, so as you can see, you should be able to see small bubbles in your dough. Now, like I said, you could have done this at the 2-hour mark. You can do 2 or 3 hours, or if you want to prep it before you go to bed, let it sit all night, you can also do that, but sitting overnight is not necessary. So we're going to flour the surface. You're going to gently separate the dough from the bowl. Now this is a no kneading recipe, so you do not have to knead it. All we're doing here is just folding it over on itself a few times. And then forming it into a round loaf. I'm going to go ahead and take some flour on top of it. Now it needs to rest for 45 minutes, even if you waited the full 3 hours. After this step, it needs to rest for 45 minutes. So we're going to transfer it over to, it could be a cardboard top, it could be a cutting board, whichever you prefer. But it might stick a little bit after sitting for 45 minutes. So we like to put it on a round piece of parchment paper that we have cut for the shape of our pizza stone. So it's going to sit there for 45 minutes. While your oven warms up. Make sure to put your pizza stone in the oven. So to make for a crispier bread, you'll put a couple of inches of water into a baking dish and you'll slide that onto the bottom shelf. And that will be in there for the duration of your cooking. I'm going to grab my squirrel. I'll explain all of his purposes later to bring that rack out a little closer to me. And slide that parchment paper right on with our beautiful bread on it. And we will check that in 30 minutes. So our bread is done, if you can see that beautiful loaf in there. But if you will just leave the door of the oven cracked and cut off the heat, that's gonna help for a crispier crust on your easy, crusty vegan bread. And here's the end result of our bread. Beautiful loaf. Let's cut into it. As you can see, we've got beautiful warm bread. You can use it for French toast the next day. You can make grilled cheeses, sandwiches, endless possibilities.